opportunist of Crypto Broker Academy. Boy, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. In fact, as I was writing out the content on the board, our wonderful videographer Akash mentioned this is a controversial topic, trying to pin such a legendary company as Western Union with an infant company like Global Xchange. And that's when I knew that this had to be delivered even more so, because I wanted to paint the picture of how big of a project that we are tackling, how big of a need and a service in the industry that we are taking on, and what sort of David and Goliath situation it appears to be. But again, there are so many other case scenarios of this David and Goliath situation, such as the ancient taxi industry being taken on by Uber and completely obliterating the taxi industry with the rates and the ease of service and the technology integration, such as what the Airbnb model did to the ancient model of hotels and the 100+ year Hilton's franchise and dynasty. So similarly, we're doing something that is as grand as that, and we should not be intimidated by tackling such a giant as Western Union, because the new world of economics, as the world begins to wake up to cryptocurrency, they're going to need channels with which to convert their fiat into cryptocurrency. Western Union only allows the transfer of fiat to other parts of the world, and it has great limitations, not just fees, but the border. Fiat currency sees borders, whereas cryptocurrency does not see borders at all. It does not bow down to any government regimes or any flags. That is the beauty of it. It basically sees the world and humanity as one and not imaginary lines on graphs. So with that being said, let's take a look at the history of Western Union and the birth of Global Xchange and how they compare today, and get an understanding of where things are headed. First and foremost, we have to understand that Western Union was established in 1851, which makes it 169 years old, which, as you can imagine, it's definitely had quite the reach of market within that time frame. But Global Xchange is less than a year old. Let's see how far they've gone in terms of their expansion. Western Union has 500,000 plus locations, which is insane, the number of locations that they have. And this might not just be a standalone place, but it might be integrated into another bigger store or bigger shop. Similarly, we have 3,445 locations. By locations, I mean brokers, because we represent these portals like Western Union, through which people can access the cryptocurrency space through GX, and that is how we are distributing these sorts of franchises around the world by signing up more brokers around the world. Speaking of around the world, Western Union has 200 countries that they have established themselves in. We are currently at 96. Not bad for within the first year of expansion. What's interesting is that this is where they take the leap. They have 20% of the market share when it comes to remittance or fiat to fiat transfer around the world, and we are just in the infancy of our own growth, where we have less than 1% of the market share. But again, this is what comes with being in your first year of birth. What's very interesting is that they have over $140 billion of volume that they do annually, which is an insane amount of money that is being transferred via Western Union, whereas we have just crossed $2 million within less than a year. Again, something that we're easing into, but can you scale that up to 5 years, 10 years? We can probably get to something like 20, 50, 100 million plus as we expand our brokerage network. What's also interesting is that they have made close to $6 billion of profit on this $140 billion, which is a ratio of about a 4% net profit or fee for them. In our case, the brokerage network have made over $348,000 worth of commission that is paid out to each one of us brokers in the field that are being advocates of cryptocurrency and channeling people to a platform like Global Xchange, where they can not only get a myriad of different services, but also have a real person that is bringing cryptocurrency to their attention, and then on the back end have the support of the client success department that will get on the phone, that will have a WhatsApp chat and take care of your clients and your brokers. And that nets about a 1.6% of the volume that we're doing is becoming profit for the network of brokers. So we can see that there's still a lot more margin that we can squeeze out for the profitability of our brokers compared to what Western Union is charging them. This should give you a big vision of the direction that we're headed towards, because if you can begin to see that we are gaining momentum faster than Western Union through the advent of technology such as the internet and the ability of a brokerage model, a word-of-mouth model, then and the need for cryptocurrency in the market, then we can see that perhaps in 5-10 years we might actually surpass this. And I know that sounds like a bold statement, but how long did it take Uber, who owns none of the cars, or Airbnb, who owns none of the homes, to become worth more in value than Hilton or than the New York taxi mafia industry? So this should give you a vision of where we are headed towards and the big role that we're playing in the world, so that we can become the new age era that Western Union is not filling for the cryptocurrency space. And as people begin to realize, hey, instead of transferring fiat to fiat, what if I just converted fiat to crypto, and now I can have full control over my capital, my finances, and be able to transfer finances and my money with a lot greater ease and freedom. In fact, I just saw a news article about a $1 billion transaction that was done via cryptocurrency, and the transaction fee was less than $100. Can you imagine just trying to transfer $1 million and the fees and the hassle and the breaking that down into smaller amounts that would be required? So as people are coming to realize the benefits of it, well, you might not be transferring $1 billion or $1 million, but still 1,000. The fees are astronomical. The limitations are there. The borders, the making sure that the other person gets it on the other side, and the timing, all of these other inconveniences, cryptocurrency eliminates, and we can be the advocators of helping people go from this outdated ancient model to the new sexier model and get very handsomely financially rewarded. This has been a breakdown of these two massive David and Goliath situations, and I'll catch you on another whiteboard breakdown.